the second question that I asked you all with timely responses back. There's nothing more frustrating, no matter who's in charge, to not get an answer. And that happens, and it is very frustrating. So we'll go to Senator Ricketts.
Thank you, Chairman Capito and Ranking Member Whitehouse for holding the hearing today, and welcome to all of our nominees. Congratulations. I chair the Subcommittee on Fisheries, Water, and Wildlife and sit on the Transportation and Infrastructure Committee, and I look forward to learning from you, each of you, how you plan to serve Nebraskans and Americans in your new roles should you be confirmed. The Endangered Species Act is a law that impacts each one of you as nominees. Mr. McMaster, you and I shared with you my concerns about the American burying beetle and its impacts on infrastructure. Mr. Tell, you heard about the piping plover and the pallid sturgeon and its impacts on the Missouri River and the Platte River. And then Mr. Busserud, you're no stranger to NEPA compliance. I would like each one of the nominees to talk a little bit about how you plan to implement the ESA in a way that promotes species protection and recovery, but is not prohibitive to the work in your respective offices. And Mr. Tell, maybe we start with you.
Senator, thank you for the question. I detected a bit of frustration from you, and I've detected it from the public over my time working here in the Senate about when the law is applied on the basis, or decisions are made within the government on the basis of something that the government did before. And I think that's the case here with the species you're talking about, where the government's work actually increased the habitat and then created a problem where before it didn't exist. And so we have to be better at predicting these things and having a comprehensive management plan that looks at second and third order effects of the government's work and gets it right. And when we don't get it right, correct it as quickly as possible instead of ignoring the problem. Thank you, Senator.
Hey, Senator, I appreciated the conversation the other day. I'll say the administration has a strong process, a robust process and way to find ways to expedite project delivery, but at the same time respect and conserve the environment in that process. If I'm confirmed, I look forward to learning more from you on these specific issues you raised in person, working closely with the Federal Highway Administration in partnership with the state to make sure that those environmental challenges are conserved, maintained, and respected while we look to move projects forward quicker, faster, and better for the benefit of the state and the country. Thank you.
Senator, based on my environmental legal experience, and I would bring that to bear here with EPA, I believe that early consultation and engagement on endangered species issues in the planning phase before shovels even go in the ground is essential in terms of planning out an expedited schedule that is not impaired by the presence of either critical habitat or listed species.
Great, thank you. Under Chairman Capito's leadership, we are beginning to work on the Surface Transportation Reauthorization Bill and are focused on improving efficiency in the system. I've heard from Nebraskans that one reason projects are significantly slowed is that too many agencies are required to take action to approve a single project. Often these approvals are being done consecutively instead of concurrently, adding unnecessary delays to project implementation. Mr. McMaster, how important is streamlining processes to deliver on timely project delivery, and what can Congress do to help?
Yes, Senator, I appreciate that question. It's a tremendous priority of this administration to find ways to move projects faster and better and more cost effectively. I'll say this tremendous backlog, the historic backlog of grant awards that are awaiting grant agreements, in no small way is a tremendous priority that needs to be addressed. Over the last couple of weeks, we've seen 2 different tranches of backed awards that totaling more than $5 billion in this effort. The Secretary is also interested in reducing the regulatory burden on these awards and future awards so that when we say we want to build, we're able to build, and we're able to build more cost effectively. In addition, the administration is looking at updating its guidance on NEPA and then looking for additional streamlining provisions. So if confirmed, I look forward to working closely with you and the Congress as you engage in your efforts to reauthorize the surface transportation programs.
Right. I'm running out of time here, but Mr. Tell, obviously, as governor, I sat through a 500-year flood in Nebraska in 2019, Can you tell us how you can work with sister agencies like Fish and Wildlife to ensure the management of the Missouri River Basin prioritize people and property to make sure we're protecting life when we have those 500-year floods?
Senator Ricketts, thank you for the question, and thank you for your leadership as governor during that flood that affected large swaths of the country, and especially Nebraska. With the Missouri River, which I told Senator Fisher yesterday is America's longest river, edging out the Mississippi by 1 mile, it requires management from Montana all the way to Missouri, and your state is right in the middle. And there are competing interests that have to do with navigation interests and flood control interests up and down the system, as well as water supply interests, especially in the further west reaches of the river. And so it's a challenge. And the Corps of Engineers often has to make decisions about whether agricultural interests and weigh those against commercial interests and weigh those against life and safety interests. And I would just say that life and safety and the protection of property has to always be a primary concern as these issues are balanced. The Corps of Engineers has manuals that dictate how they operate these facilities, but Senator, I think our elected leadership, our politically accountable leadership, I think there's an expectation that they'll use good judgment in times of crisis like this one to deliver the best result for the public, and I hope that we can get it right.
Thank you, Madam Chairman.
Senator Ricketts. Excuse me, Senator Padilla. Just had Senator Ricketts, yeah.